All right, here court of the city of Washington, also the Honorable Deputy Apple presiding. All right, here court of the city of Washington, also the Honorable Deputy Apple presiding. All right, here court of the city of Washington, also the Honorable Deputy Apple presiding.
$5 for the CD.
You may be seated. And good afternoon and welcome, friends and family members, members of the community, members of the legal community, to the investiture, the formal and public investiture of Commissioner Nicole M. Wagner. I say that because she is a commissioner and was previously sworn in and has been working for us for some time already. But that was something we had to do quickly in order that that we could put her to work. But this this is the more formal and certainly, I would think, more enjoyable process. I do wish to acknowledge a number of people who are here. Seated in the back is our clerk, Heidi Percy. Welcome. From the Court of Appeals, we have with us today Judge Linda Coburn and Judge Ian Burke, both sitting on Division 1. The Superior Court bench that is here today, besides myself, Judge Apple, is Judge Anita Ferris, Judge Bruce Weiss, Judge Joseph Wilson, Judge Richard Okrent, Judge Jennifer Langben, Judge Adira Nicolico, Judge Miguel Duran, Judge Patrick Moriarty, as well as Commissioner Susan Harness, Commissioner Patricia Nelson, Commissioner Lisa McKelly, and retired Commissioner Jacqueline Brudvik. We thank her for joining us as well. And also with us today, from across the street at Everett Municipal Court, is Judge Ramey Leonard to witness this occasion. I won't speak very long, but there were some things I did want to say concerning Commissioner Wagner. Many of you already know her. Not everybody does, but she has been in this community a good long while, actually, even though she's late of King County. But I think we consider her to be a longtime Snohomish County fixture, and it's my view that she likely considers this her home as well. She has had already a history with this county, which is significant. I cast about for people who would be able to tell me some specific things about her. Because what I know is that when she appeared in front of me, she certainly knew her stuff, and she was very able. And when you saw her coming, you knew you were going to find out what you needed to find out, which is useful from the point of view of the bench. However, there are some other things that I think bear pointing out that perhaps not everyone knows. She's also very creative. She's innovative. She, while working for the Attorney General, initiated programs that were designed to benefit children and families. She puts a premium on kindness. She's always been outgoing and passionate about the work she does. She always wants to do her best all the time. And these are things that stand out and why we are pleased to welcome her back to Snohomish County. I would like to welcome some of Commissioner Wagner's family who's present here today. Her husband, Robert Flanaugh. Did I pronounce that correctly? Oh, good. Okay. Her parents, Nick and Judy Mo. Her sister, Amy Simmons. Her daughter, Isabella Wagner. And her stepdaughter, Sydney Flanaugh. I'm sorry, I keep stumbling over that. I caught Commissioner Wagner in the hallway just before and made her pronounce that for me. And in addition, family members watching via YouTube, Commissioner Wagner's father and her mother-in-law, Dr. Flanaugh and Bernice, and her brother-in-law, Damon Flanaugh from Oregon, her brother-in-law, Paul Simmons, and her niece, Lucy, and nephew, Cooper from Olympia. Welcome to you all as well. Our first speaker this afternoon is going to be Adam Balut from ABC Legal. Mr. Balut.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm honored to introduce Nicole. Nicole was the very first person that I met in law school. We both attended Seattle University, and I've seen Nicole excel in all of her roles that she's taken on. The first role that I met her and saw her in was as a mom to Isabella. Then as a law student, obviously, and then as an attorney with the law offices of Judge Okrent and Richard Wagner, who are present today. I got to see her as an assistant attorney general, and then as a guardian ad litem, as an advocate for children in many fronts. And then as a pro tem commissioner for Family Treatment Drug Court in King County, which I think is where Nicole really excelled and showed the tremendous talents that she has. One of the things that Nicole will be bringing to the bench and does bring to the bench is a significant amount of strength. And when I say strength, I mean the strength to wield vulnerability and to allow people to be seen authentically and to have an opportunity to be heard by a court and not just looked at, but to be seen. And vulnerability and tenderness are not things that are typically wielded in court, but in doing so for Family Treatment Drug Court, parents and people who have had wounds in their life and have not been willing to show those wounds to people are willing to do that in court and then willing to agree and participate in a method to change their life. The last time that Nicole was in Family Treatment Drug Court, it was the goodbye session for the parents and for the staff as well. And it was tears all around by the parents, but then also from the staff as well, which I thought was a really great indicator of the type of character that Nicole brings to the bench. To have staff, the clerks, the people who run the court and the people who make sure that everything operates well, see you and see you as a pillar, and to see your loss as something that they would have to deal with is also a testament. So the comments that I wrote down that I wanted to share were from the parents that joined, and I wanted to write them down so I got them right. They said, "We joined Family Treatment Drug Court after the talk we had." This is the talk with Nicole. All of them, all the participants invited her to their graduation. "You believed in me. You saw something more in me than I saw in myself." And these are comments that got repeated over and over. And because you brought that energy to the bench, a lot of these families are now going to have a chance to turn their lives around. It's been said that safety isn't about the absence of a threat, but the presence of a connection. And you were able to connect with a lot of these parents and then do so in a way that brought respect and admiration from your colleagues. We always knew that you were had the best intentions and were advocating for your client in the best way. So it's my honor to introduce Nicole and to welcome her to the bench, and we're all very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Balut. Next, Isabella, I think you might have some remarks about your mother.
Yes, hello. I am Isabella Wagner, daughter of Commissioner Wagner, right here. I can't reach it. But either way, to start out, I must disclaim that I was quite nervous when asked to speak because one, I've never given a proper speech like this before, and two, because I am delivering it to attorneys and judges, which is a little bit stressful. But either way, thank you for trusting me to speak today in your honor. I'm very proud and grateful that we get to celebrate you. So it's funny, I keep wanting to say, I can't believe this day has finally come, when frankly, I absolutely knew this day would come. From the second my mom became a practicing attorney, I knew she wanted to be on the bench. And trust me, if I was aware of this at just 8 years old, then she must have really wanted it. And for those of you who know my mom, then you also know her drive and ambition, which means that when she wants something, you have no doubt she'll make it happen. However, the best part about her drive and ambition is that it does not only apply to what she wants for herself. Her drive and ambition are what push my mom to fight for what's right, make just decisions, and improve the lives of the people she encounters. At her core, she is an empath. She can't help but feel for others. I see this when she comes home and can't stop thinking about the family she met with that day. It's how she remembers all of their names, their stories, and the small details of their day-to-day lives. It makes her thoughtful, considerate, and sometimes a bit of a crier. But seriously, I believe it's a huge reason why she's so amazing at what she does and why her clients love her and come back. Honestly, I've never met someone who doesn't love my mom. She has this unique way of making friends everywhere she goes, and I mean everywhere. For example, my family and I like to joke that she has 3 home bases, all within less than a mile radius. One being our actual home, 2, Joey Kitchen in U Village, 3, Mama Molina's, our neighborhood Italian restaurant. During COVID, these were the restaurants nearby with outdoor seating. So rain or shine, my mom and Bob would roll up in 5 layers of clothing, winter coats and blankets at least once a week through the winter. And I'm sure you can imagine that as the friendly, kind, and entertaining woman my mother is, she made some friends, even during a pandemic. By now, the entire staff of both Joey and Mama Molina's know my mom's name, order, family members, and probably more. This is definitely something I tease her about and like to pretend that I don't inherit, but I secretly know I do and feel very proud to. People often look at my mom and I together and see copy and paste. They aren't wrong. I am wearing all of her clothes. But the catch is that they often think we're sisters, not mother and daughter. The thing is, you can't totally blame them either, because even my grandparents forget that we are mother and daughter. When they talk to us, they'll say, "Oh, you and your sisters," when referencing me, my aunt, and my mom. And this always is funny, but it's quite understandable because my mom and I did grow up together in many ways. Don't get me wrong. She was and still is very much the mother, and I very much the daughter. But the difference is that she was a young mother. She wasn't done growing up when I came into her life. This gives us and others alike a very special relationship. Not only did she get to witness my milestones, but I got to witness hers. For months, I watched my mom study for, then pass the LSAT with no prior education in law while raising a toddler. And we celebrated together the day she was admitted to the Seattle U School of Law. Later, I was lucky enough to attend some of those law classes with her and Adam. So funny story, one day I was sitting in for a very heated class discussion, a discussion likely a bit intense for a 6-year-old to be witnessing. So of course, at the climax of the discussion, immediately after one classmate shared a comment, I let out this audible gasp in the middle of the session. Everyone in the room was absolutely horrified that they had traumatized this little girl in their law class. But in reality, I was just absolutely appalled by Swiper's actions in my Dora episode. So thankfully, my mom quickly cleared that up for the class, and her professors were always forgiving. But the day her graduation finally came, my mom fulfilled a promise to me, a promise that I would walk with her at the ceremony because we had finished law school together. This was one of many milestones in her lifetime, but in particular, it was a symbol of her hard work and resilience, along with the start of a new chapter. This new chapter involved being a full-time attorney and a full-time mom. I witnessed firsthand that being an attorney is not light work. So kudos to you all. It is intellectually challenging and emotionally exhausting. I've seen my mom work into the late hours of night and through the early hours of morning. All of this while raising a busy, active, and sometimes sassy child who mocked her lawyer voice, as I used to call it. I still mock it today, only now it's called commissioner voice. Despite how busy she was while I grew up, she never sacrificed being a mother. She made it to every swim meet, drove me to every 4 a.m. swim practice, and was the team's favorite snack provider. The lady can seriously do it all. So today, I am feeling incredibly proud and grateful that I get to celebrate her swearing in as Snohomish County Superior Court Commissioner. Another milestone and another start of a new chapter. So congratulations to my amazing mom, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Wagner. By the way, somehow I missed him. Also present today is retired Everett Mayor Ray Stephenson and his wife, Vicki, who, I don't know if everyone knows this, I only recently learned this, is related to Commissioner Wagner. So he's here as family, but also, I think, a dignitary as well. So we have reached the crux of the matter. Commissioner Wagner, would you please come forward? And there is a copy of your oath. You'll remember this from when we did this a couple of weeks ago. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Nicole M. Wagner,
I, Nicole M. Wagner,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
and discharge
and discharge
the duties of the office of Superior Court Commissioner
the duties of the office of the Superior Court Commissioner
according to law to the best of my ability.
according to law to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. No. Don't go away.
Okay.
Mr. Flanaugh, would you please come forward and bring the robe with you? And would you please administer the enrobing of Commissioner Wagner?
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited. I get 2 new robes now that I've been here.
Yes. Keep the old one just in case.
Right.
And would you be so good as to offer a few remarks if you have some?
Great, thank you. As I just stated, I'm a little nervous now having to follow the lead of my daughter, who was exceptional in her speech today. I'm going to be very short and concise because I am incredibly nervous and this is not my forte to speak in front of persons. But first, I want to thank the entirety of the bench here today. I would not be standing here for a few special people that perhaps kept in touch with me all these years and always making me feel welcome in the event that I was able to ever return to Snohomish County. And I'm incredibly grateful because the timing just worked out perfectly. For many of you, I have been sitting as a King County Superior Court Commissioner since about 2018. However, prior to that, I actually was a pro tem here in Snohomish County from 2014 until 2018, and that's where I got to know many people here. And it was just a timing of things that I ended up in King County. And so kind of always waiting for that opportunity to absolutely return home. I really, really love Snohomish County. And what I love about this community the most is that it is just so welcoming, so incredibly, yeah. My Lord.
Don't worry, sir. During my swearing in, my wife's phone went off. I don't, it happens.
Well, and I also just want to give a very big special shout out because I have a lot of family members here today from all over. For those of you that don't really know much about me, my whole family is actually from the Snohomish County area, from Everett to Camano to Arlington to Marysville, Whidbey Island. I've got my godfather who's on YouTube right now. He's coming in right now, and he was a little nervous about coming in person. He wasn't sure he was allowed to wear shorts. I told him it was fine, but he didn't want to do that. So a lot of people on YouTube. And I also want to give a shout out because I know there are a lot of people and friends from King County that are able to YouTube in, and a lot of the judges and commissioners down there as well. But I am really thrilled and very excited to be back in Snohomish County. And in some ways, I really have to quote actually Judge Manners, because for many of you that don't know, we're cousins. And she and I had COVID same time. She had just been appointed to her position at the district court and Community Court. And I had just gotten the call from Judge Apple about the appointment here. And as we were COVID bound and texting with one another, I thought, wow, you know, this is so amazing. And she reminded me, and I think this is just, her words are the best. She said, can you imagine our great grandma Knutson and how thrilled she would be to know that two of her great granddaughters are now serving as judicial officers, judge, commissioner. But it would just be, she came over here from on the boat and just growing up with her, she'd be so proud. So I really want to thank you for that reminder. And Carrie, my bailiff, she came all the way up here from Family Treatment Court. And I want to thank Adam for speaking as well. And I want to thank my husband and Sydney, my mom and dad and everybody for all of your support along the way, because I know there have been long and grueling hours, and I'm just so grateful for all of you and all of your support. And thank you to Richard as well, because he gave me my first shot when the AG's office was waiting to give me my job because I hadn't passed the bar yet. And he said, I'm going to take their favorite AAG. So there's a little bit of history for me. And Richard, thank you for being here as well. So thank you for welcoming me with the open arms. Thank you for making me feel so welcome. And I really do hope to serve this community to the best of my ability. And I will bring all of my passion, all of my drive and ambition, and serve this community to the best of my ability. And I promise I won't try to All right, thank you, everyone. I do hope you come to the reception, and I'm just thrilled to be here. And Ian, can't wait till we get to work together. Thank you.
One last thing. Even just for a moment,
Yes.
I'm inviting you formally, publicly, to join the bench at this time. So please take your seat among us, even just for a minute or two.
Where do I-
Where does she go? This side. It won't be long. I do want to thank you all for being here. This is significant to the court, and it's also significant to the community. So thank you for being here. I hope we will get to see you at the Angel of the Winds Ed Hansen Convention Center Ballroom. It's 3 South. I think you have, many of you have been there for other such occasions. Court is adjourned. Here we go. Getting warmed up. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You did a great job.
You actually did look nervous. Really? No. Yeah. Actually,